The mother of a young woman left bedbound by chronic fatigue syndrome has set up a shared care home after finding limited help in the health system. The illness, known as ME, is often triggered by viruses, with cases exploding since COVID-19. Renews journalist Zoe Madden-Smith has spoken with 23-year-old Tammy Rumsey, who says it's flipped her life upside down.
When she's really bad, she doesn't have the energy to chew, she doesn't have the energy to swallow. Moving in bed is too hard. All the people who say it's in your head, get real.
Advocates are calling for chronic fatigue syndrome to be considered a disability. Tammy's mum, Glenys Rumsey, joins us now, along with Associated ANZMES Society President Fiona Charlton. Good morning to the both of you. Glenys, I'll start with you. What does a good day look like for your daughter these days?
A good day would be her still lying in bed. She has a hospital bed. She can't sit up. She can't stand up. On a good day, she would be able to roll over. She'll have eye patch on, she'll have headphones in, even with block-out curtains, and us being as quiet as we possibly can. She has no ability to watch screens, to make contact with people in the outside world. She can't even eat sitting up, or she is closed in her life at the moment in this very low stimuli environment that we've got her in. But that's the only way she can cope. Yeah.
What did you find when you tried to get help for her, Glenys?
It was a nightmare. For 12 weeks, we tried to get a doctor to visit her at home. When she started going downhill fast, she was losing so much weight. And the only option we had, we were living in Aotearoa at the time, and no doctor would visit in the home. We tried every measure we possibly could to get someone to see her there, because we're so worried about taking this extremely ill person to emergency department. But that's the only option that we've got here. And yet, for people with myalgic encephalomyelitis, ME, the stimulation that an emergency department would put on them would cause them so much harm. In the end, we were calling hospice and was saying, please, we know that you do home visits, would you please come and see our daughter? And basically we were on our own. The district nurses wouldn't visit without the doctor coming. Yeah, it was awful.
Fiona Charlton, I want to bring you in here and ask why it's so difficult for families like Glenys to be able to find a way forward with this.
It's difficult because we lack recognition of the condition as a real biomedical disease. We've tried through petitions to get it reclassified as a disability and haven't been successful yet.
What is it that you need to do to have it recognised as a disability?
The government needs to implement that reclassification. With our petitions, the House Select Committee actually recommended back in 2012 that it be reclassified. And then in 2023, they suggested that Whaikaha amend the eligibility criteria to include people with ME/CFS into the disability support services, and it hasn't happened. So the government basically needs to implement that change.
So if you were able to have it classified as a disability, what sort of world would it open up to those that suffer from it in terms of being able to find help?
It would legitimise the condition, firstly, and that would get rid of this idea that it's psychological, so get rid of the harmful practices that occur. And then it would mean access to disability support services. So at the moment, people like Tammy only receive 21 hours of care per week, despite needing round-the-clock support. And what that means is that family and other people are having to take on full-time care, which then, of course, affects the entire family and, income and those kinds of things. So getting additional support, for people like Tammy, it needs to be beyond 21 hours. Then we have another group of people who are moderate severe who currently don't qualify for any home help, despite needing it to prevent their condition from worsening. And so we know that early intervention and appropriate support improves outcomes, and it would stop people from getting to that severe end. So for us, it's not about just recognition. It's about ensuring that people need the care they need now, they get that care. Because the cost of doing nothing is this increase of people who are getting into that severe end. And so the government has a responsibility to really prevent this. So what they need to do, and this is a thing that I don't think they understand, is increase the budget for disability support services and then include all the people who meet the definition of disability, which people with ME/CFS do. So then that means suddenly it opens up the disability support services network for people to be able to get home help.
Glenys, can I bring you back in here? And I just want to ask you how difficult it is for you and your family that you can't have this recognised as a disability.
Well, we had this awful decision to make about whether our daughter would have to go to an aged care facility as a hospital-level aged care resident at 23 years old, because we were unable to care for her at home, and that is why, with the very limited amount of help that we were getting, and that is why we came up with the idea of shared care that we're progressing with at the moment.
How is that going? Is it successful?
We're only a couple of months into it, Chris. So, of course, there's a lot of teething problems at the moment, but I think it will be, yes, yeah. And this is where we look after another two young women, who have the same illness and the same level of severity as our daughter, and we share the 3 hours that each of them bring to give us 9 hours a day.
Glenys,
Yes.
what are you hoping for by sharing Tammy's story?
Oh, awareness, yeah. This is classed as an invisible illness, and when you're living it, you can see that the people who have it, they fall off the radar. They're too sick to talk for themselves. They're too sick to go see doctors, to go to hospital, and they have no way of advocating for themselves. So I'm really hoping that when people hear our story and others similar, that they will realise that this is a very debilitating illness, and these people need help. Yeah,
Cool.
they need help.
Glenys, thank you for sharing your story and Tammy's story with us today. Fiona Charlton too, from the Associated New Zealand ME Society. Thank you to the both of you very much for coming on breakfast today.
Thank you.
And to watch the full investigation from News, you can head to TVNZ Plus on your smart TV. Click on the menu on the left and just select News, and there you'll also find the day's other stories.
Me